All right, are we going? Are you going to tell me action? Are you going to say action? So I'm Angela Guelli, and I teach pre-calculus, calculus, and student council. So Teacher of the Year is an award that teachers get to vote on by their colleagues. So every year you get to vote for Teacher of the Year, Humanitarian of the Year, and you kind of submit your nominations, if you will, and then it comes back on the top, I think like 3 to 5 people, and then the staff votes again. Yeah, so it's kind of, there's a nomination process and then there's like a final voting process. I was happy. I think that being nominated is always an honor, especially because all the other people that were nominated were just fantastic teachers, and I respect everyone that was nominated a lot. So to kind of be considered with those people is a really big honor, and I mean, I'm happy I won. I like winning. It's a lot better than losing. I was pretty surprised because I've been nominated before, but I've never actually won. So I kind of thought that's what was going to happen this year. But this year I won, so that was exciting. I mean, it's just always nice to kind of be recognized for your efforts. So I was nominated a few years, a couple times over the past few years, and so it's just kind of nice to be thought of by your colleagues as, you know, someone that they think is doing a good job. And so when I got nominated this year and didn't win, or in the past when I didn't win, it was still nice to be nominated. So some of my students knew stuff before I did, actually. So one of my students had actually come in and they had taken a picture of the marquee, like the digital sign out front, and they're like, your name's on there, and I was like, what? And so they actually told me, so I think they were kind of excited. I think some were probably surprised, but I think overall my students were really supportive and excited for me, and you know, it's nice to know a winner. But I do really enjoy what I do on a day-to-day. Now that doesn't mean I enjoy every piece of paperwork or every single meeting that I go to, but really the part I like best about my job is being with my students, being in my classroom and getting to see them grow and getting to see them improve and get better. That's the best part of the job for sure. I could do without the meetings and paperwork, but unfortunately that comes with it. So I think that I can definitely see growth. I used to kind of loop with my students, so sometimes I'll have students for pre-cal and then I have them again for calculus. So you really get to see a huge amount of growth over 2 years. And the other way I get to see them grow is with student council. So being the sponsor of student council really allows me to see students in a different light, especially those students that maybe they're not in calculus, so you get to kind of see their leadership. So I'm really lucky in that I get to kind of see multiple sides of my students by being a sponsor of a club. So I enjoy that. And my favorite part, I definitely like hearing from students, you know, once they graduate. In high school, I was definitely not the type of student that would come back to my high school to see my teachers. And so now that I am a teacher, I'm kind of like, wow, it's really nice to kind of hear from students after they graduate and know that, you know, we're kind of on this journey together on essentially their last year of high school. Most of my students are seniors. So I kind of get to walk, you know, along this bridge with them, and then they get to the other side and they get to do cool and exciting things, and I have to stay at Oak Ridge. But it is nice when they come back to visit or even send an email. These lights are making my eyes water.
Yeah, try not to look right into them. They're pretty bright.
Okay, Andrew says do not look into I would be interested to hear from how I inspired them. But I think that teaching is definitely not something that like everyone can do. I think it's definitely like, you know, being called to teach, and you really have to love it. And I think that students, they know exactly which teachers want to be here and which ones don't. So I think making sure that, you know, you really feel that calling to help others and being able to kind of like appreciate that growth and knowing that it's maybe not exactly what it looks like on TV or things like that. It is a lot of work, but it is really rewarding. So. I know, they're going to put this on WENN and the stuff on the board, people are going to be like, I'm never taking that class.
So it's basically just this big team of people that spend their entire school year dedicating all this time and effort into basically making this entire book that so many people buy at the end of the year, that shows all the memories that you've made and all that dedication that you've put into making it through the year. It's a very big, kind of all over the place job. So, you know, people are frequently getting up, going out there to get interviews, taking pictures of people, and then, you know, some people stay here and they work on their spreads all day until it's time to go. We're split into 2 classes. We have a smaller class and a bigger class, but both do similar things. Usually in that back room behind us is where everyone typically works. This room right here is the editor's office, so this is where everyone comes and meets and does their work and all that stuff. We could always use more people, especially because we have a whole bunch of seniors that are graduating this year, so it'd be great if we amassed more people to join, because it's a team class, so the more people the better. I'm one of the photo editors, and my main job is going out to all these events and games and get as many good pictures as I can. I select the ones that I like from the couple hundred that I take, and I upload them to the studio, and those are the ones we use. What I do when I go out is I look for very specific people. So if I'm going out to a game and I see this one player and she makes the best expressions, she's like shining on the court, I can always count on her to be there when I'm going to take a picture. And that makes the great shot. You can just see the whole story behind it in their eyes and their face. Usually people in the background, if they're cheering, that tells everything right there just in the picture. I think it's important not just for the people that are buying the book, but for the people that are making it as well, because it's an experience for everybody. A lot of people don't think about behind the scenes and all that stuff, that everybody does so much to make it, the perfect thing by the end of the year. And I think that will always stay with you in the future. Years back, you'll be an adult. When you're older, you'll still have that thing laying around, and you look through that and just your high school experience right in front of you all over again.